anyone tell me how I would calculate the bar numbers 1602? Can anyone tell me the length of the bar 1602?
16.
Bar number 1602, so it starts down on the construction joint and it works its way up to the top.
2.5 meters.
That's what, 2.5?
Meters.
Right, so that's based on the fact that my sketching isn't very good because I've stopped it short of the top, or it's a kind of good try, but I'll give you one more crack. You want to have another crack?
Yeah. 2.4.
2.4, okay, no, the 2.4 is wrong as well. 2.45 based on 50 mils of cover. Exactly 100% right, and the first half mark for the second part of the course goes to the guy in the can't fail front seat. So if you look at the top here, this is for those that have read it, haven't read it. This is a cross section through a retaining wall which is 5 metres long and there's 50 millimetres of cover everywhere. That means that no bars will be exposed to the air or to anything, and they'll be pushed up hard against the cover where possible. The other thing is that all bars are 300 millimetre centres, so we need to keep that in mind when we're working out the bar schedule. So if I had a, if I can find a pen, I had one with me this morning but ended up elsewhere. Nope, I'll see if I can find one around the boards here. Okay, I might be in a bit of trouble. So I'll have to verbally do it. I have got actually a where's that? Yes, at the end of the notes. I have actually got this written down, so I think I'll go to where I've got it written down. I'll go there. No, I'll verbally say it at the moment. Okay, so any idea where that goes here? How we do this in terms of the figure 1 below? So do we put the length of that bar at 2450 under location, under bar mark, under number off, or bar length, or mass per metre, or weight, or sketch? Bar length is correct. Okay. Oh, we may have a possible pen that works on board. Okay, that's good stuff. So the person that said the bar length is correct, a little bit too obvious, not quite as many answers as I thought I'd get. Location. Bar mark, number off. Number off. metre. These reinforcing's all about the weight. If we are buying or selling reinforcing steel, we do it by the weight. So the idea is to try and figure out the weight of the total weight of your reinforcing, which will give you an idea of what the cost is going to be in terms of ordering in the reinforcing bar. So the number off the bar length, we got that at 2450, right? Now, because we're looking at mass per metre, we're going to have to do this in terms of metres, so that's 2.450. Okay. The bar mark, what was it called before? 1602? That was what I asked. 1602. Okay. Uh-oh, we've missed out a column here. Bar length, here we go though. Bar length after number off, doesn't it? Number off, bar length. Then we have mass per metre. And then we have the sketch. So that's 2.450. Number off. How many of them are there? Well, it looks there that there's 2 of them. 4. But how long is the retaining wall? Retaining wall is 5 metres long. And there's 2 of those every 300 mils. So what's the calculation? You thought it was going to be me demonstrating the whole time, didn't you? The calculation is, I'll go over here. It's 5 metres long. I don't know who's been writing here. One of our lecturers has got a writing disease. I might have to get rid of their writing disease. Okay, so let's do the calculation for it. 5 metres. Minus cover at one end. So you forgot about that already. Minus cover at the other end equals 4,900. Divided by 300. Anyone got a calculator? How many?
16.33.
16.333. So is that how many bars there are?
Yep.
We have a decimal place bar. 17. No, 16.
So is it 16 or 17?
16.
16. 16. How 17? It's 49.
17. How about if I said, I'll give you a clue, and you're still going to get it wrong? There's 2 of them. How many?
32.6.
What?
32.6.
33.
33.
33? Do you want to advance on 33?
Yeah.
You said 32 point something, right? Can it?
66.
30 what?
32.66.
32.66 bars. But it has to be a whole number.
32.
33?
Yeah.
No one wants to go to 34?
34.
No. As I said, I'll give you a clue and still no one's going to get it right. The good thing about no one getting it right is you're going to remember it. Okay? Alright, and you're going to be equally determined to get it right next time so the picture looks like a bit of a dick. At the moment I don't feel like a bit of a dick, so we'll leave it at that. Okay, two things. The rule in New Zealand is 0.2 up, 0.919999 down. You didn't know that, so that's something that I had hidden up my sleeve. The reason is that we've got a high earthquake rate here, and concrete design is taken very seriously in terms of reinforcing. So when you get a number like that, that's gone over 16, and it's gone over by more than 0.2, so it is actually 17. Okay? But it's not 17,
34.
it's 17 gaps, which equals 18 bars. And when we multiply it by 2, we get 36.
Okay.
If you just kept on counting and going up, you would have ended up with half a mark. 36. Well, we've only got 4 bars to actually put up on here, but by my calculation, yeah, we're not going to get to any bars tonight, that's for sure. Taking a while. Okay. 36 times 2.45 equals. This time you're all going to get it right.
You wish?
88.2.
88200.
8,
8
8, 2,
00.
0, 0. This is actually my bad. So I'm now starting to look like what I said before. The mass per metre is actually given to you on the table, and this is the total over here. So in actual fact, the mass per metre is on that table that's on here at the top. 884, is that what you're quoting on? 884, 0.884, and now when we multiply that by that by that, we should get a pretty solid number.
Seven 968.8.
779
6 6
6
6 8.8.
6 8. Did you do the 2.450? 7 7
Mine's 77.96.
Important to get your, that's 0.884 by the way. 0.884, okay. So the location is each face, EF. We talked about that this morning. Now, I shouldn't have done bar number 602 first. In your assignment, do not get them mixed up. Always start with the 01. I've done it first because it was the easiest one. Still took us an hour and a half, but it was the easiest bar to do first up. Okay, we still haven't finished it. And the people that were making bar jokes up the back, they're still going to come through thick and fast. What does the sketch, right at the back there, what does the sketch of this bar look like? Straight, yes, the straight bar. Well done. Okay, here's the sketch.
Do push your back.
I've never given anybody a mark for going to a straight bar. I think we'll leave it at that. Or else I end up getting complaints coming in. Yes, what you can do if you want to make it a little bit clearer, is you are allowed to put 2.450 on top of that, and that just helps the steely. That just keeps them smiling and on your side, okay? Because they obviously going to get the bit of reinforcing, and they'll go snip, snip. They'll mark the next one, snip, snip. Right? He doesn't have to keep looking at that. All right, let's keep moving along. Just wondering if you're going to be able to calculate the next one. The 1201s. They're the dots, the donuts, the dots, whatever. Yes, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, or 32, I think it was. You can do that, but will you be right? Probably not. So you need to calculate it in terms of the 300 spaces. Now, a few rules. You know how I've shown you this 0.2 rule? For those that are just on the other side there, there's the 0.2 there. When you do it vertically, we do it slightly different. When you do it vertically, we do it from let me see, I'm pretty sure when we do it vertically, we do it very similar. This bar here is allowed to rest on the construction joint because you're only resting the tip. Construction joint is where we finish the concrete pour, we come back and do another concrete pour for the next bit. So you can rest the tip on there. What you can't do is rest the longitudinal bar all the way along the whole length of the wall on the construction joint. Because then all the way along the bar there's going to be no concrete underneath there with the pour. So we need to lift it up by the cover. So the area 1 we'll call it. Let's just go here, call it area 1, we'll call that area 2, and we'll call that area 3. So we've got bars distributed all the way along here. We're going to work out how many of them there are. So as the chap at the back pointed out before, the distance is 2,500 from the construction joint to the top, minus 50, which equals 400, divided by 300. Now I'm not going to ask anyone to do that. I'm quite capable of that all by myself. 8 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anyone who counted it would have got it wrong. So the sketch doesn't always show the exact amount. 8 bars. Hold on, it's not 8 bars, is it? That's 8 gaps. And And that's still not right, because we've got one on one side, and we've got the ones on the other side as well. So times 2 equals 16 bars. And they are also straight bars for a gentleman at the back. Okay, so we can draw a straight line over there as well. So 16 bars, 18 bars, yes, well done. I did that purposely, so it would come in there. Wasn't the fact that I'm getting tired today already. And I need my nan on that, 18 bars, but that's only one section. Now the complication comes in when we do it horizontally. When we do it horizontally, I'll blow up one end. The bar goes around like that. And the closest we can get that bar to the end is that point there. Does anyone know that distance for half a mark extra on their assignment? 300. And can they explain how they got it? Okay, so this is going to go against all your mathematical principles. And I love saying this is one of my favourite moments in time, because everyone's going to turn around and say, no way can that be equal to 2 times the radius, but it is. That distance is going to be equal to the cover and 2 times the diameter of the bar. That bar. Because that sits on the tangent point, and the tangent point with reinforcing, the internal diameter is always 2 times the diameter of the bar. That you can bend a bar. Doesn't make sense, of course, but it's my little moment in time. So if I'm telling you that's 2 times the diameter and the cover, we end up with, no it's not, it's 3 times the diameter, because you also have the diameter of the bar. So just to get that straight, down here, you've got cover, you've got 1 diameter, and you've got 2 diameters. Cover, and you've got the same at the other end. So, at this end, the overall length of that is equal to a 600 plus 400 plus 1000. So that's, I can do that maths too, I'll just have a think about it. 2000, yep. So it's 2000 minus the cover, which is 50, minus 3 times the diameter of this bar. What's the diameter of that bar? It's a 16, is it? It's a 16, so it'll be minus 3 times 16, minus the 50 at the other end, and minus 3 times 16. And it gives us the distance from the centre line of the bar to the centre line of the bar. So what does, I will need a calculator this time. Don't you run out of batteries on me. One, 8, 6, 4. 1, 8, 0, 4. divided by 300, because it's from there to there, equals 6.01. Come back to our rule. It goes down, so it becomes 6 gaps equals 7 bars times 2 equals 14. So we have 18, 14, and the last one's really simple because you can only get 2 bars in there. See the height is 300? You've already covered the top bar with the ones going along, so you can only get 2 in there. So 18 plus 14 plus 2 equals 34. Is that right?
Yeah.
So 34. And I reckon I'll have you home by midnight tonight. By the time we get through this. 1601. Oh, 1201, aren't they? 1201. And how long are these bars? They go into the wall. 5 metres minus. You were so close to half a mark there. You forgot about the cover at each end, didn't you? So 4.9 metres, right? And the weight of these, because it's a 12, what's the weight of the 12? Oh, we just made a big foo-foo. That is 0.884 there. If you picked me up on that, that would have been worth half a mark. So we need to recalculate that. 1.5 78 here. So we need a couple of totals there. And this one here is going to be each face, each way, top and bottom. It's all over the whole thing. Each face, each way, top and bottom. Okay, and do we have some totals here? Oh, it's a straight bar, 4.900.
Isn't it 4.95?
4.95? No, because it's a retaining wall going a certain length and you take off 50 at each end. Yeah. Where you wouldn't would be if you were joining another retaining wall onto it. And it was only construction joint. In fact, sometimes you poke the bar through so you can tie onto it with the next one. Yeah, this is a bit of a weird design. It's just one off 5 metre wall. 5 metres is quite a wee way. It's probably from about here to the door, so it's a fairly decent size retaining wall. Okay, so these bars here that bend around, the bent bars at each end. So it's the same for both. And what they do is, if I was to show you an end like that, one bar is going to come around and go down like that, and the other bar is going to come around and go like that. Right? Now, reinforcing is a bit like when you used to stay with Grandma and she was doing the patch quilting, and she might be the only one that ever stayed with my grandmother probably, and she had the sewing machine and she's going all around the outside, and she's made the patch quilt for your bed. Am I the only one that had the patch quilt with the teddy bears on it? Okay. And
I have to wear those clothes.
yeah, I don't know the way this is going, but anyway, she said, you said to Grandma, because you wanted to be an engineer, you said, why are you doing all the stitching on the outside? Why not just through the middle? And she says, if you're a proper engineer, you'd know you put everything to the outside, as close as you can to the outside, to make it stronger. And that's what we do with reinforcing. Alright? So if you take that rule, that means this is hard up against that distance there is the cover, that's the cover, and that's the cover. Now, that's one of the most important things for the assignment, because the assignment has a bar that comes around and down and like that, and it's got another one that comes around and down and over that way. So obviously they go in behind each other, and they're hard up against the. A lot of students go, oh, where do you put it? I don't, like, what's the length of that? Well, you can calculate that length quite easily because of the fact that it's right up against the cover. The first thing you should draw on your drawing is the outline, and then draw the cover line, so you can push the bars right against it. All right? And so when I'm looking at your plan drawings, which is your assignment, if you ain't got them against the cover, then you're not drawing it correctly, even if it's that much away. All right? So if it's a 16mm bar, you draw it on the cover, make it 16mm thick, and move it 8mm inside. Like you did with Ingrid. Similar. Yeah. So to calculate this bar and that bar isn't really that hard, because even though my sketch looks a bit wonky and wiggly, we know that they're both in behind each other, and they're both going to be 2 meters minus 50 minus 50. So if we were to draw that bar, it would be the height would be easy and the length would be easy. The length would be 2 meters minus 50 minus 50, so 1900, and the height would be 400 minus 50 minus 50, 300. Agree with that? So, in terms of how many there are, we've actually already done that calculation. We did it for the one above it. Because if you look at this one, that one, and these ones all wrap around each other. So they're all on the same base each time they repeat. So the same, whatever we calculated that number to be, which is right here, 18 bars, is how many of these there are. 18 of those, and there's 18 of those. So we've already done the calculation. So if you get something like that in your final test, you do that calculation once, you've done it for 3 sets. So there's, I'll write it again here so that it's obvious. 5,000 minus 50 equals 4,900 divided by 300 equals 16.333. Equals 17 gaps equal 18 bars. There's one that way and there's one upside down, so that's times 2 equals 36 bars. So 36 bars. Can anyone tell me what the length of that bar is? Well, let's give it a number. The number is 1603, and it's on top and bottom. There's 36 of them. Can anyone tell me the length for half a mark? We actually mentioned it in the lecture this
1900?
morning.
1900.
19. No, it's the overall length of the bar all the way around. No, time's up. No one want to have a quick guess? Heard someone say something, could be right. It's worth it sometimes. 1 point what? 1.6. Just random? No? Anyone else?
1.75.
No. So that's 1900 plus 300 plus 300 minus the bend radius, which we mentioned in the lecture. Up the very top there, I think it says 40, doesn't it? There's two bend radiuses. One of them's
16 is 40.
it's the 90-degree bend radius, 36 actually. Yeah, 36. So minus 36, you got two of them, you got one there and one there. So minus 36, so I need my calculator again. See, if I play darts, I just go, and I hit that number just like that.
280.
Have you seen those guys playing darts at the top level? They say, dog, dog.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, dog.
the
You know.
net that is a
2, 4, 2, 8. 2, 4, 2. Oh, that actually sounds correct. Thank you. 2, 4, 2, 8. 2, 4, 2, 8 goes in the overall bar length. Actually, don't need the I used to do. And you have to draw a little picture of it. But when you draw the picture, you don't put the bend allowance. You just do 300, 1900, and 300. So just let me explain why you do that. The big steely guy, he gets the bar schedule like this, and the picture. So in the picture, he measures off he measures off that total length there, and then he marks it in such a way that when he uses his bending thing, the bend goes in and the overall length ends up with the length of the steel that he's got in his hand. So that's really important because that's what he chops it at. So working on the Clyde Dam, if I got that wrong, too late, snip, right? And it won't be one snip either, it's 36 snips. And of course, it's too late then to get that correct. I also, I'm a bit of a sucker for punishment. First of all, I go and work for the Germans, and then I worked in England for a company owned by Saudi Arabian companies, and we were doing reinforcing for them. And we got some of it wrong, and the punishment was that our top engineers had to fly over there on Christmas Day. And they tried to explain that, I'm sorry, but Christmas Day is our, in England, it's a day with our family and everything else, and they said it's not like that over here in Saudi Arabia. Come over here, we need to see you. So we were talking about $1 million contracts in those days, so yeah. And there was a Egyptian engineer who turned out to be a fake, was checking all our calculations and pretending that we were wrong. So he was trying to win the business of the Saudis. So in the end, we carried on as we were. Yeah, true story. And it was on. We did the bridges, so they were calculations for the bridge abutments and the bridge piers, the bits in the middle of the bridge. moving along, mass per metre is 1.578, and we can work out totals in a minute. Last one. So you're going to use this as a way of helping you calculate your own slab. Your own slab is a little bit like this, with little, you know, with a footing down the side, but none of the top bit. Anyway, the last one here, there's only one of them this time, so you don't multiply it by 2. Well, what we have to work out in order to get this right is what the lap is on that bar and that bar. Now, first of all, are they both 16mm bars? Yes. Yes. So up the top there, it says minimum lap. On the 16mm bar is 520. So the lap is 520, we'll do it here. So the lap is 520. So, oh, nice one. Alright, well you're all looking at your monitors. I take it I'm the only one who's gone out. Oh no, it's alright, it's just a case of wiggling the mouse. I love the technology here. The good news is we're nearly finished. Okay, so 520 there, 100 there, 400 there, and then 200 down to there. So we need to add calculator again. Just try the two at the front there that have given me $100 to pass the course. So we need 520. We need 100. So plus 100, plus 400, plus 200. And that's, so on one side here, what you're saying is, it's shaped like that, that's 1, 2, would you? 1, 2, 2, 3? 0. 1, 2, 2, 0, and how wide is it? Assuming that it's just in behind the other one up there, it'll be 50 mm in from each side, so it must be 300 wide. Yeah. So the maths behind that one will be 1220 plus 1220 minus 300 minus the bend allowance of 36 and minus 36. So that is the maths behind that one. And we know that it's going to be 18 of them because we've done that sum just around the corner there. It's 1604. It's a bit weird. This one is each face, top and bottom. The bar length is going to be 1220 plus 1220 minus 300 minus 36 minus, oh sorry, plus 300 minus 36 minus 36. Whew. Twelve. 2.668. Max per metre 1.578. Now I'll give your calculator a break. plus we get the unveiling coming up. This is where you can all have a jolly good laugh at me for getting it completely wrong. Or completely right. You don't have to laugh if I get it right. Alright, so is there an end to this? There it is there. Total weight 147.27. 147.27. I've made that available on Moodle. 139.18. Is it what? Oh, yeah, they've run the wrong way, have they? Yeah, I've got them round the wrong way because we did 1202 first. Yeah, that was a bit clever. 147.27. Uh, 139.18. 137 point, is that 83? 137.83. That's a 9. And lastly, 78.62. Making a grand old 503.00 as a total. A lot of students do all that hard work and forget the total, which is the whole reason for doing the bar schedule usually is the price. Because if the price is right, then they'll go ahead and do it. Now the good thing about what I've just made available to you on Moodle is everything that I said then and scribbled on the board has been made a little bit clearer on Moodle on this. So we started with 1202, but this one starts with 1201. It shows the construction joint, and it shows you how I got each one. We've got 8 gaps, 9 bars, etc. There's the 0.2 rule. And there's where the bar starts. 1 times the diameter, 2 times the diameter. The straight bar. The bar 1603. The bend allowance 36. And calculating the number of bars. And the last one, actually the last one was 1270 apparently. Or is that my typo? It should have been 1270. Right. And what else? And 300 and 1270. 1270. And that is that 2.688? 2.768. We'll put that down to bit of tiredness and that calculating team. And another $100 needed. 2768. There we are. Now, more good news. especially for the students that are still, I call this my stun mullet class. I don't know if you know much about mullet. Very hard to catch them with a hook. Usually you catch them two ways, with dynamite, is probably the best way. And they all come up with big eyes and open mouth. Not that I'm saying you've all got big eyes, but that's kind of what the look is on your face at the moment. But it does take a little while to get your head around doing reinforcing, because we're going from a 2D view to a 3D view, and not a lot of people can get that concept straight away. You will get it, it does come to you. Might be in the middle of the night, it might be in the middle of class, it might even be an invisible friend tell you, but at the end of the day, it will come to you. What I've got here is okay, I've also got a class example here. Concrete exercise 2. So this is written by my predecessor here at Unitec. Actually, he overlapped with me by about 10 years, and we took the course together. Old Fred was one for hand sketching. This is a water channel. It's something that maybe a farmer might design to take water from one ponded area to another on their farm. And this particular exercise has got everything that you could possibly come across in reinforcing. It's got a restriction on your bar lengths. It's got cover on different faces are different, which is something to watch out for. It's got it's got that curved bar thing, but most of all, if you have a look at that bar, 16 millimeters at 300 centres, it's a pretty bad sketch because it doesn't show that it goes in behind that other bar, but it actually does. But the problem is this round bar, this bar here that goes right way round, is at 250 millimeter centres. So you've got 300 and you've got 250. You can't have that because both bars, I mean the long bar is in the middle of space. It'll be hanging up there, not bound to anything. So it must be the same centres. One of them must be the same centres. Sorry, they both must be the same centres. So the way how you determine the centres is it goes immediately to the 250 because that's going to give you more bars. Okay? So in New Zealand, when we're doing reinforcing, we're a lot more generous with the reinforcing. A lot of countries around the world that have earthquakes can't believe how much we actually do put into our design. So you'll find with Lucia or Wade that they're very strict with their design, and they tend to over-design things, which is what New Zealand, both of them are proper engineers, registered engineers. I know Lucia is certified, and so she would over-design because she wants hand on heart the building not to fall over. We all do. And so when you come across a situation like this, you immediately jump to the one that gives you the most bars. Now before I was looking for the lap for that bar on example 1 that went up in the air and overlapped with the other one. Now if one was 12 millimetres and one was 16 millimetres, which lap would I take? Who said that? Somebody. Did you say that? Did you? This is embarrassing. This feels like you paid me for that. She's dead right. It's a half a mark there, and probably deserves it because she did all the counts for you guys. But you take the 12 millimetre lap. No, you don't. You take the 16 millimetre lap. Lean it. Oh, sorry about that. You take the 16 millimetre one because it's longer. You always take the bigger lap, and you always put more bars in if there's an opportunity. So if you have different bar sizes, lapping, which you might have on your assignment, just keep an eye out for that. It's always the bigger lap and the bigger bar. Yeah, you don't have to email me that, by the way. Now, who got the first half mark? Somebody did. Oh, you got to midnight. Somebody lost it last semester. I mean, last half of the semester. Yeah. He emailed me about 4 days later. That's like being on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and saying you can ring a friend. They ring Santa Claus. Okay, so this one here has got a lovely set of handwritten answers to how to do quantities, to how to work out the bars. So it does go into the same detail that I went into. See that? 2 times the diameter equals 24, plus 12 mil up the top diameter and the 40 mil cover. So it does explain things a little bit better than maybe I did, and it's in a written format. So you're welcome to look at that and work through that. And it's put nice and neatly on a proper Ministry of Works, stolen from the Ministry of Works too, and with the Unitech sticker on top of it. Not by me, by him. I never do that. So there we are. There's a second. Now, looking at the sketch of this, and the last, I'm just about ready to stop talking. Yay. I'm not sure whether. What did I do that for? Never mind. Back in the middle. Also under week 8. Is an example drawing. I said that I'd show you that. All right, so this is the water thing drawn in AutoCAD. Now you will be doing the top bit. That's the plan view. This is the sideways view. So the one thing that you should do first of all is this line here, that's your cover line. So when you put your cover in, you can then put your bar right up against the cover. Cover lines there as well. And you can also see nothing actually goes outside of that cover. When it comes to the plan, remember I zoomed in on something and it had a circle, and I said this red bar here goes from there to the other end. Now here's my favourite word that I never ever get tongue twisted on: delimiter. That is what we call a delimiter, because it shows exactly where the last bar ends. And if you look at the other end, it shows exactly. Now, when I'm marking this, I get all sorts. I get students that put the, that don't rotate the text properly. Should always read it from, looking from the right hand side, so that way. I get students that write the text on top of the delimiter line, even on top of the delimiter bar. And worst of all, I get students who run the line through the text. Now that is actually okay. See that line going through there? That's going between the numbers. That's alright. It can go on this line here too. What is not alright is if that was over here, because when you plot it, it may make it really hard to see what the numbers are underneath. Fair enough? So when you're doing this drawing, you grab this one off Moodle, go in and have a look at it, see it's got the lap on there. Now this particular one is lapped, that bar goes to there, and that bar goes on the other side. Now that student lapped it like that. You can also lap it where one's in front of the other. Just depends which way how the reinforcing goes. You have got a couple of examples in the notes as well. So I'd start drawing my plan up if you're looking for somewhere to start. At the same time, what you can't answer is how many of the bars there are without doing your bar schedule. And your bar schedule is that thing there. That's, you shouldn't be working on both at the same time as you're doing it. Alright? By the way, don't take the AutoCAD length. It's always 2 or 3 millimeters wrong. So you'll get it wrong. Give you an idea, that's with 7 marks. It's quite a lot. So I'll start off by giving you a mark for the right number of, half a mark for each one of the right number ofs. Then you'll get half a mark for each of the bar lengths. There'll be marks for the sketch and marks for the totals. Oh, sorry, the location. And probably marks for multiplying out as well. So yeah, I've got 14 half marks to give away on the bar schedule. Right? And there's no arguing with that. At the end of the day, you're either going to have the right number there or not. The other part of the schedule that was in, I'll just have another quick look at the assignment. Other people are going, I still, I don't quite know what else I'm supposed to do. Okay, so you get your progress, your plan. And by the way, that's only a plan of the slab. You don't have to put any steel on there. It's just the slab, all right? Back to the assessments, because that's where they want us to put them all these days, which I think is a bit weird, but if we go back to assignment 3 under the assessment section, you'll the example template, you can start drawing this up. This is worth 7 marks. Sorry, the reinforcing is worth 7 marks. This here is worth 7 marks. Some of that's really easy, so obviously there won't be as many marks allocated towards it. You can't do the steel till next week. I'll be doing an example. After that, you'll blitz that. Most of my students that are reasonably good at math blitz it. Amazingly, quite a few stuff that up. That to me is only first year at high school maths doing volumes. But anyway, and the timber is a is another one as well. So work on this table and work on the plan at the same time, and that's 15 marks altogether. Sorry, that's 21 marks out of your 40, just for those things. You won't be able to complete it until we've finished the timber section. Oh, what still needed on this will be some notes as well. And then the second part of the assignment I'm suggesting will be the 3D drawing and drawing up these two elevations. There's all your submissions. Drawing up these two elevations. The elevation in this direction and the elevation in the other direction. So plenty to get on with. You've got a month and a half, well, 5 or 6 weeks, shall we say, to do it. The semester will probably end in a fairly similar way to what the last one did. So there'll be an online tutorial so that it's recorded, and there's probably going to be an online test. I noted that quite a few of you came in here and did it here with the past unit. That's fine too. You can come and do that, or you can do it from your home or somewhere else. I'm only saying that now because that's what I'm planning to do, but we'll see what comes of it further down the line. For those that have ended up with a fairly good mark, like as in about 70 or 60 something, and they're thinking, oh, I just need to do 30% this time, nice easy half semester, can I just dangle the Revit and 12D caret in front of you all again? 60 marks is the cutoff, so that's a C+. It used to be 65. You're getting 2 world-class programs, which does put you ahead in the job market if you've done it, especially with diplomas, because you can't only do it with 60%. Yeah, we were the first Polytech to do that in 2011, that course. And it's also a credit towards your diploma. So there's a lot of bonuses in that. And if you are up there with the A's and B's, we will be looking at you to help us out as past students. So it would be quite vital if you did that other course as well. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. If you spy that I have missed something on your assignment, remember I'm human too sometimes, like missed the marking on something, or have not given you the same mark as what's on the assignment, please email me, and when I get a chance, I'll have a look at that for you, okay? I'm not saying it'll change, I'm just saying that if you, I don't want to spend the next 3 months writing back to students on the things that they've done wrong, because there's a lot of feedback on that marking matrix. There's over 1,000 little boxes that I filled in over the holiday. So I don't really want to be regurgitating all that. But if I legitimately have not given marks on a box, or if I legitimately have copied the wrong number, I'm more than happy to rectify that with an apology as well. think it's quite rare. Okay, well, our lovely past student is going to earn her $100 an hour now. So if you want any questions, fire your hand up. I know that most of you wait till the last week before handing them. Otherwise,